silver fans, this is T, and you're in the place to be for silver education, acquisition, and entertainment. The Coin Shop in Bloomington, Indiana. T. Okay, Peter, and there's Daisy. Thanks for allowing me to come back on in your shop and shoot some video today, Peter. I appreciate it very much, my friend.
You're welcome.
I am down here in Bloomington with my daughter going to IU once again to visit the Kelley School of Business. So we're hoping we have a nice trip and learn a little bit more about that school. But I've got some questions for you. I'm just going to rattle them off in between customers here. You've already had a busy morning. But hey, let me ask you this. You are from Cuba. This is our third video together, and I keep picking your brain about this. There have been some new developments down there, and I'm not sure how much you keep up with it, but it sounds like inflation is hitting that island extremely hard. You know anything about this?
Yes, and part of it is because most of everything that is purchased in Cuba is under government control. So we don't have like a free market like here. You can go to Kroger's and purchase your groceries. Over there, we got what they call bodega, which is like in the neighborhood, every 2 or 3 blocks, they have a building that was made into a little bodega, which is where they sell goods.
Okay.
But the shelves are empty. You don't find any goods. And everything is, they have a ration book where, like, for instance, you have so many people in your family. I understood that you get like 2 ounces of meat per person per month.
Gosh.
And what happened is that people who have large family, they trade, let's say, their meat that they have maybe 4 extra ounces or something for a bottle of rum or cigarette they smoke, and the people who don't smoke trade, and everything have going out of proportion. The prices are real high. And people live, it's real different from what we see in America. I mean, that's why everybody wants to leave the island. Not everyone, but a lot of people want to live so they can get food and they can get whatever is needed. So that is part of it. The inflation is really hitting hard because people who buy in the black market is paying a lot more to get it. And also because some families sending dollars to Cuba.
Now, I just saw something, and this is a recent development. Bitcoin is now legal in Cuba, and they say that it's helping the people. As previously it was very difficult or impossible to do business with Cuban pesos outside of Cuba. Dollars come in slowly, but it's not easy to get them in. Do you think the influence of Bitcoin will help the folks down there get commerce going in a better way?
I don't think so, because the technology in Cuba is so limited. It's just like Bitcoin, but who has a computer with a network to access? So very few people have computers or they have cell phones.
So perhaps the wealthy there might benefit from that, but the man on the street, not so much?
There's no really wealthy people in Cuba. The wealthy people are the government people, and they may benefit, but in Cuba, everybody's poor. I mean, everybody's struggling.
Hey, so how's business lately? You were booming when I walked in.
It's good. I mean, business is good. A lot of people are showing up. Silver took... a downside, and was expected because that is what they call profit taking. And a lot of the people who bought silver low, they saw the silver going up and they sold some silver. A lot of that comes from future contracts where people can buy a position in the silver market. They don't hold the silver, they will never get silver in their hand, but they can buy silver on contract.
Right.
And a lot of time banks are trying to sell silver and people are buying and selling, and you can see how they can control pretty much the market by buying paper silver.
How about the people coming in the store? What are the people buying? Are collector coins, bullion coins?
I would say bullion coins, a lot of silver.
Okay.
A lot of people are afraid of the inflation in the United States. We hit like 5% the last 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And silver is a good edge against inflation. For example, you take a silver dime, or 2 silver dime back in the early 60s, you can buy maybe a gallon of gasoline. Well, today it will take about 2 silver dimes close to that to buy a gallon of gasoline.
Right.
So basically, you're talking about the same amount of silver that took back in the old days to buy groceries is going to take now to buy it. So silver always edge against inflation, and people buy silver not because they want to make money, it's they want to protect their dollar.
Exactly. So, hey, let me ask you about some of the stuff that you might have in the shop that I'm interested in. Mexican silver Libertons. I'm looking for 4 of them to complete my collection. Anything in the shop today?
It's impossible to hold them.
How about junk silver? Do you have you have some junk silver today? What's it going for today?
20 to 1, a ratio of $20 to $1 physical silver.
Okay, so 20 times face.
20 times face. Yes, sir.
Got it. And that's not too bad. What is silver spot price today? Do you have?
Was up a little bit. It's around $24 an ounce.
Okay. And how about any other Mexican coinage besides the Libertons? Like 5 pesos Mexican coins. Do you have any of that stuff?
Yes, I have a few things here. Okay. They are like the Olympics coins from back 1968.
Yeah.
The one that has like a dancing person.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I kind of shy away from those. Because my father was a history teacher.
Yes.
And he told me about what happened in 1968 in Mexico.
Oh, yes.
I even made a video about that, and the history is just terrible about the government tyranny and putting down the folks who wanted to have their voices heard. I'll put a link to that video in this video description. I've gotten some. It's one of those that's not a super popular video, but people have watched it.
Yes.
Have some really heartfelt and strong emotions about that particular video, but that's one of the reasons I don't buy those. But how about those new 2021 Morgan dollars? Have you had any of those come through the shop?
Yes.
Buying, selling?
Yes, I have 4 right now.
Okay.
And I forgot to put them out, but I got them in the safe.
Okay.
And they are like the D and the S. They are not necessarily the Carson City or the Peace Dollar that tend to be a lot more attractive, but they all have the same amount. They make 300,000 of each of those, so one should be as good as the other.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of interest in those on the channels that I watch, and people are unboxing those. Do you think they're going to hold their value, or me personally, I like the older ones myself, the ones with history, but if people are buying them, why not?
Well, they make 300,000 of each, so I would say it's a low number.
Yeah.
But it's new, so people can get them now. And with time, sure, things will go up in price, but how long will it take for them to appreciate enough that people say, well, I got what I put in, and maybe now I can sell it, make some money. So that is a good question.
You have some gorgeous Morgans in your display. I'll show some of my B-roll in a little bit. Would Morgan, is that the king of the coins?
Morgan tend to be the king of the coins. I mean, it's more people asking for Morgan dollars than Peace dollars or any other kind. So they have that look that people want them, especially when they're real nice condition. They're beautiful.
They are. Now, let me ask you a personal question here, Peter. You've seen gold and silver come through the shop for, I don't remember how many decades you've been here, quite a long time.
I've been doing it for 40 years.
Oh, gosh. So you personally, do you consider yourself a stacker, a collector, or both? And the follow-up question to that is, what kind of stuff do you snag and put away into the back of your safe just to keep? Or does it all just come and go?
Everything come and go.
Okay.
I used to be a collector, but I never made a dime, and I was always broke because I collect everything that came in that was good.
Yeah.
And then I decided to sell everything, so I don't collect anything. Everything goes out.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you're in business, you
have to sell it, or you never pay your bills.
Yeah, exactly. Have, just out of curiosity, have any of your customers mentioned seeing you and Daisy on
Oh yes,
videos?
yes, yeah. She's famous now.
Yeah, that's cool. She's a good dog, and it's funny how she rules the roost around here.
Oh yeah, she tells you whenever she needs something, and you better do it. She will be barking and telling you, "Hey,
Well,
let me in."
she's a good guard dog too. I see her looking out the window right now. But hey, tell me, you've got some 100-ounce bars there. How'd you come across those? Can you show them off?
Those are in consignment. Yeah, a friend of mine have them, and he wants to get rid of them, and they're
Boy.
pretty heavy.
Yeah, they are. Engelhard, that's the king of the bars right there. Well, look at that. It's got a good number on it too. Look at that, POO 555. Somebody might be interested in it just for that serial number.
Well, maybe.
How old would you say that is?
No idea.
No
I would
idea.
say several years old, like
Yeah.
back a long time ago.
Can I see the other ones?
Yeah, these are Silvertown ones.
Yeah, that's Winchester, Indiana.
Yes.
And there we go. And these you could even see the pour marks there. These do feel good in the hand. That's for sure. That 100-ouncer.
Yeah.
You've got a couple. Are the other ones Silvertown just like that one?
Yeah, they're all Silvertowns.
Yeah, I like that Indiana history. That's for sure. And do those move? I mean, do people?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little slower than the smaller denominations?
Yes, because the bigger the bar, the more difficult. You have to have more money to buy them.
Uh-huh.
But on top of that, if you want to say divide your silver between your kids or something,
Yeah.
you have to chop it and cut it in pieces.
Yeah.
And that is not really a good advice for anyone to do that. So a lot of people buy the 1 ounces or 5 ounces, and they can just use them as they go. This is 5 ounces,
Okay.
and
NTR metals.
these are 5 ounces.
Okay. Got it. The smaller denominations there.
Yeah, those sells faster than the other ones. And there's another 10 ouncer here. This is like a bit of buffalo. That's
Okay.
Silvertown, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh yeah. It's got that waffle design
Yes.
in the back there. So, all right. Well, listen. I've got to get over to the Kelly School of Business with my daughter, but I'm going to do a little shopping, and I'll show the viewers in just a moment what I've found here. And Peter, once again, I appreciate the time.
No problem, anytime.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, Peter, you've pulled these out for me, and I've seen these on other YouTubers' videos. Tell me a little about these. They have chop marks on them. Pieces of 8, you say?
Yeah, pieces of 8 made in Mexico City.
Uh-huh.
Each coin, this is Carlos the third or the fourth in this one here, 1794. This is Carlos the third, 1786. So you got Carlos the third and the fourth. They were made in Mexico City, and that is the mint mark of Mexico City, and with a little 0 on the top.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then that is the shield of Spain. That you see there.
Are those called pillar dollars, correct?
No, the pillar dollar have the same, but in the front,
Oh,
they will have 2 pillars, which are the Hercules pillars, and they were made in Mexico for the use in the New World, and they were legal tender in the United States to the 1800s and 50s, I believe. So this was legal money in the United States.
Yeah.
This one in particular have chop marks because they went to the Orient, and the business people there, the shop owners or business, they put their marks, and you can see that they got different marks in the front and the back everywhere. Some of them, maybe they even went to California and they put the chop mark in California. Nobody knows really. There's books that tells you where the coins has been, and they came back to the United States, and people use them all the time. So that's what you have there, pretty much pieces of 8 that went to the Orient. And this one here doesn't have any chop mark. It's similar. And you can see the same coin with all the chop marks.
Ah, I see. Okay, I'm sure it's beyond my budget for today, and so I hate to even ask. But what do those run for?
They run around $100.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, let me take a closer look here. All right, so Peter, you were just telling me about these old coins, 8 reals, and tell me a little bit more.
The El Real came from, from Spain, from Mexico, but the history of the United States is so involved with these coins because at one point England and France were at war, and France lost the war. So England's supposed to take what they call the French Louisiana, which is all the way from New Orleans all the way to the Dakotas, that the north part of the United States. The King of France and the King of Spain were cousins. So France seized the area to the Spaniards. So the Spaniards were not prepared for all this land. And what they did is they created this paper, 8 reales, but people didn't like them because they want the real thing. So the governor of the Spanish Louisiana wrote a letter to the King of Spain saying, we want you to bring some coins. So they dispatched a ship named El Cazador from Spain all the way to Mexico. So in Mexico, the governor of Mexico made 400,000 pieces of 8. And they were like sent with El Cazador in 1784, I think it was January of that year. All the coins were dated 1783. So they were sent all the way to New Orleans. The ship sunk, the money never arrived, and then the Spanish Louisiana became French Louisiana again. I don't know how that happened, a treaty, and then Napoleon decided to sell the French Louisiana to the President of the United States. At that time, I think it was Jefferson. But Jefferson only wanted to buy New Orleans for $3 million, and Napoleon said, I'm going to give you a deal you don't resist. $15 million, you can buy the whole area, 4 cents an acre.
Oh.
And that is how later on Lewis and Clark and mapped the region, and everything is part of the United States today.
Yeah.
If that ship haven't sunk and they have gotten the 400,000 pieces of 8, and they were small denomination coins too, who knows what the histories would say today.
And so the people there at the time, the soldiers, the people who needed to be paid, didn't want paper.
They didn't want paper. They want the real thing, silver and gold. Like today, a lot of people are concerned about the paper currency we have.
Whether it's back then or today, this is the real stuff, man.
Yes.
Now, guys, at the end of each video, I show what I've purchased. You know that I can't walk into a coin shop. Usually, I'm looking for coins for silver stacking, but I could not pass these up. Peter gave me a good deal on both of these 8 reals, $90 each. He still has 1 or 2 left in that case if anybody's interested. But I think these are going to make a nice addition to my stack collection. And I look forward to hearing from Aloha Stacker or some of the other numismatists out there who can tell me how I did. I think I did pretty good, and I appreciate the deal from my buddy Peter here down at the coin shop in Bloomington. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tea.